Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of World Series Boxing. It is Fight Night 5, Week 5. We're in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, for bout number 2 of the evening. It is in the lightweight division, 60 kilograms at the Olympics, 61 kilograms here in World Series Boxing, and making his way towards the ring for his second appearance in World Series Boxing is Sam Maxwell. The man born in London but raised in Liverpool, representative of the Solly Amateur Boxing Club and a podium boxer in the GB setup. Smiling, looking confident, searching for his first win in World Series Boxing. After coming out on the losing end of a points verdict against David Oliver Joyce at Earl's Court in the British Lionhearts' last outing. Looking to get to winning ways tonight, but what an opponent he faces. The best amateur boxer of his generation making his World Series Boxing bow. Here's his introduction.
Обладатель Кубка Уэлла Баркера, как лучший боксер Олимпийских игр 2008 года. Чемпион Европы, чемпион мира, двукратный олимпийский чемпион Васил Ломаченко. Украинские атаманы.
Well, even if you don't speak any Russian, you heard the name Vasil Lomachenko and the word champion on about 4 occasions there at least, because that's what he is, a 2-time Olympic champion, including London 2012, and in Beijing 2008, he was the Val Barker Trophy winner as well as the most outstanding boxer in the tournament. He's a 2-time world champion, and he hasn't lost in international tournament boxing since the 2007 World Championships back in Chicago. On that occasion, he lost to Albert Selimov. Since avenged that defeat in the first round of the Beijing Olympics 4 years later, the following year. And here, he is making his bow, his debut in World Series Boxing. He's already committed his future to AIBA Professional Boxing, which will begin later this year. And of course, by boxing in World Series Boxing and AIBA Pro Boxing, Richie, you keep your Olympic eligibility. So at just, 24 years of age, the prospect of this man winning multiple Olympic titles is a very real one indeed.
Yeah, he could join the greats, couldn't he? Tefilio Stevenson and Felix Savan and the great Laszlo Papp, the Hungarian, winning 3 Olympic gold medals, and that's probably what's in his mind. Yeah, this is a massive task for young Sam Maxwell, but every boxer wants to test himself against the best, and I know Sam Maxwell will not be fazed by this. He'll be up for this contest, but yeah, it's a tough one.
В синем углу ринга боксер из Великобритании Сэмюэл Максвелл. Боксеру 24 года. Победитель национального чемпионата 2011 года. Проводит второй бой во всемирной серии бокса. Сэмюэл Максвелл, синий угол ринга.
So a polite round of applause for Sam Maxwell as he is introduced to the crowd on hand here at the AKO International Exhibition Center in Ukraine, in Kiev, Ukraine. But how about that for a welcome for a bona fide national sporting hero? Vasil Lomachenko just getting gloved up in preparation for his first bout in World Series Boxing, when he and his 2 Ukrainian teammates who won medals at the London Olympics, Alexander Gvozdyk and Alexander Usyk, when they signed for the Ukraine Otamans this summer, well, it was headline news in the world of amateur boxing and indeed those who follow World Series Boxing, because it gives this Ukraine Ottoman side a really potent, powerful lineup. Sam Maxwell remaining poised, remaining calm and composed ahead of the opening bell, and then coming face to face with not just the man, but the reputation of one of the greatest amateur boxers of all time. A perfunctory touch of gloves, retreat to their corner before we embark on 5 3-minute rounds of boxing in the lightweight division. So Maxwell, as is his wont, taller than Lomachenko. Well, Maxwell listed around 5'10.5", and at lightweight that is an extremely tall boxer indeed. And he's a beautiful stylist, using those attributes of height and reach to good effect.
Yeah, one thing good about Maxwell, Ronald, he does very well against southpaws. He's got a great straight right hand, very accurate shot indeed, and it'll need to be tonight, but in general, he spars extremely well against the southpaws that we've seen him against. Tom Stalker, GB team captain, and also Josh Taylor, who's also a member of the British Lions team. Lionhearts team, then he does very well against the southpaw, and he'll need to do it tonight.
Spoke with Sam Maxwell just before he departed for Kiev on Tuesday. He was keen to make amends for what he feels were a few mental lapses in his opening WSB contest, World Series boxing contest against David Oliver Joyce. Said he had just a little bit apprehensive about going to 5 rounds for the first time, and so perhaps didn't stay on it, didn't stay on the front foot and on the as the aggressor for as long as he might have. He said now that he knows he can do 5 rounds without any problem, there'll be no such mental let up or indeed physical let up tonight. Clash of heads there. You see Maxwell reach for and rub his nose. He said that's one thing that did take some getting used to. He said without the head guard, you're obviously a smaller target, but you have to be, and it makes you more alert, more aware, and especially of avoiding onrushing heads, where he was just caught by the forehead of Lomachenko as he was launching an attack.
What is worrying though, Ronald, is the referee didn't do anything about it, unless he missed it as well. Obviously he did, but I think this has been a fair start from Maxwell. He's controlled centre of the ring, which is very important, and he's controlled, I think, Lomachenko's movement, and especially with that right hand. Though as I speak, Lomachenko just has a bit of success, but he's not doing too bad up to now, he's Maxwell.
We talked about how this is just Maxwell's second fight, as he wasn't too far away with a right-hand lead out of the orthodox stance. How big a transition is it going to be for Lomachenko? Fighting without the vest, fighting without the head guard for the very first time, those additional 2 rounds here in World Series boxing. How will that affect him? Will he be apprehensive about going 5 rounds for the first time? And of course, when you're as successful as Lomachenko is, there's a level of expectancy that comes with the performance as Maxwell gets through with a good left hand. So the fans often don't turn up to see him win, they turn up to see him perform. Not suggesting that he can't cope with those expectations, but a brand new experience for him here tonight against Great Britain's Sam Maxwell. So Maxwell acquits himself well in the opening round against the reigning Olympic champion. So Maxwell trailing by 1 round to 0 after the conclusion of the first round of boxing. Maxwell wearing red and white, a taller fighter boxing out of the orthodox stance against the southpaw Lomachenko. Maxwell arrived in Ukraine thinking that he was boxing Dmytro Rudenko. And then at the weigh-in yesterday evening, the weigh-in in the World Series boxing is 36 hours before the opening bell. An announcement was made that Rudenko was sick, and who turns up to get weighed in? The legendary Vasil Lomachenko. So it perhaps caught Maxwell by surprise more than anybody, but it certainly caught those of us observing by surprise. Lomachenko gets through with a good left hook and follows up with success again, causing Maxwell to initiate a clinch and just prevent Lomachenko from working away.
Yep, got to hold centre ring here. Maxwell going to be a little bit stronger. And the shot he's got to start throwing also, Ronald, is the right uppercut. Because if you watch Lomachenko, the way he's trying to work the body now and he's getting in at close quarters. So Maxwell needs to measure with the jab and bring the right uppercut through the middle. He's just been overawed a little bit here now.
More left-hand success again from Vasil Lomachenko, who got through with a strong left cross a few moments ago. And now the crowd here at the International Exhibition Centre in Kiev beginning to chant their appreciation as Lomachenko is beginning to warm up. But again, Maxwell looking to retain his composure and get back to that basic boxing. He said despite the progress he has made through the development and podium system of the Great Britain boxing setup, he said that the coaches say to him, keep it simple, do what you do well, and that is that straight 1-2 and trying to unload that long, strong backhand he possesses in that right cross. Lomachenko continuing to have success getting through with the right jab now though. Right hand response to the body from Maxwell. And Sam Maxwell living proof that the pathway system, the progression system in Great Britain amateur boxing works, because in 2010 Sam Maxwell was on the verge of giving up the sport. But then rededicated himself, joined the Solly club, moving from higher side amateur boxing club. Joined the Solly, won the ABA title in 2011, the GB title the same year, joined the development squad, and then it was he, ahead of more seasoned campaigners like Martin Ward and Ian Weaver, who was picked for the final Olympic qualifier in Trabzon. And when he was out there, he pulled off a huge upset as Lomachenko gets through with a good left hand. When he beat Albert Selimov, the legendary Albert Selimov, world champion in Chicago 2007. And two-time European champion as well. He said that's when he realized he could box at this level, and there's no higher level than sharing a ring with Vasil Lomachenko.
Yeah, the problem he's got here is, as I said, Lomachenko's movements, but what Lomachenko's trying to do, he goes from long range into short range very, very quickly. He's got good head movement and he's targeting the body. And that's why Maxwell must adjust the feet as he's coming forward. And look, that's better. Adjust those feet and try and bring him onto shots. You can't afford to hold the feet.
Round 3.
So into the third round we go, all seconds now clear of the ring. But just talking about whether the 5-round duration would hold any fears for Lomachenko. We cast our mind back to the Olympic tournament, Richie. He didn't bother to sit on his stool in between rounds. So fit, so economical with his movement that he just stood up, received the instructions and an obligatory shot of water in between going back to work over those 3 threes.
Well, you know, the national team of Ukraine, I'm sure they will have a similar training program to our lads in that our boxers, they can do 6 or 7 rounds of sparring, absolutely no problem at all. So it's actually doing it in the contest situation we know, which is different. There's more bite to it, more intensity, but he won't have any problems at all, Lomachenko. A double Olympic champion, asking him to do 5 rounds in his sleep. Do it in his sleep.
So he's continuing to target the body of Maxwell once more. Maxwell fired a straight right cross at the end of that exchange, which wasn't too far away. Good left hook on the retreat, left hand on the retreat from Maxwell.
That's good boxing from Sam Maxwell there. Keeping him at range, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to be aggressive, but at long range, and then adjust the feet as he's coming forward and bringing him onto shots. That's better boxing, Sam Maxwell. Good.
Occupying centre ring now, forcing Lomachenko to move to his left and around the outside rather than coming forwards. That's a punch, the straight jab that Maxwell used to terrific effect in his WSB World Series boxing debut against David Oliver Joyce at Earl's Court last month. Didn't get the nod on that occasion, but his jab was a thing of beauty that night. And he'll be looking to get it working in a similar manner here against Lomachenko.
Lomachenko has been a lot less effective in this round, and that's mainly because Maxwell's keeping it at range, and he's not allowing him to work so much on the inside. He's just tying him up on the inside there, Maxwell. So that may be another tactic, that when he does get close, just to hold and there.
Good left
good
hand
shot
times
there.
2 from Lomachenko. Maxwell's going to know that he's going to have to respond, do something to catch the eye of the eye of the judges, as he's put under pressure by another heavy 2-punch combination from the Ukrainian master.
Lomachenko on the inside, short right uppercut, lead uppercut there. Oh, lovely stuff.
Lomachenko really beginning to warm up now and putting his punches together beautifully as we approach the final 30 seconds of this third round.
I think Lomachenko sensed he wasn't having things his own way in this round, and he just upped the tempo a little bit there, put some good combinations together, and he needed that, and that was a terrific shot also.
So Lomachenko's produced some really eye-catching work here in this third round. Maxwell, can he produce a flurry to finish the round? Good straight left-right combination from Maxwell. But Lomachenko has really demonstrated his variety here in round number 3. It's a rather weary-looking walk back to the blue corner for Sam Maxwell to receive instruction from Dave Alloway.
Round 4.
So into the 4th round we go. And in terms of competitive boxing under the ring lights, this is brand new territory for Vasil Lomachenko in terms of the duration of the bout. Although he was still boxing when it was 4 2-minute rounds in the amateur code. This 5 threes, excuse me, here in round number 4. Brand new experience for the double Olympic and double world champion. He's boxed beautifully, impressively, increasingly impressively as the contest has gone on. Maxwell has had his moments of success, but when Lomachenko has got on the front foot and worked his way inside with good movement from the waist and from the head, as he did there. Look at that head movement, Rich, to avoid that straight 1-2 from Maxwell and then come back with a counter of his own. Yeah,
well, you know, you're in against a double Olympic champion there, and he just showed his quality there because he actually slipped the punch from Maxwell, the right hand, and then came back with some terrific pinpoint accuracy counter there. So that's why he's Olympic champion. You cannot afford to make those type of mistakes against Lomachenko. But I think Maxwell, up to this stage, he hasn't done too badly.
Beautiful right hand from Sam Maxwell, right down the pipe, and a nice little left hook as he was moving in that direction as well from Maxwell. The crowd here at the International Exhibition Centre cheering their encouragement for Lomachenko as we approach the halfway stage of round 4. But Maxwell having a good spell of this round, putting his punches together well and really asking some questions of Vasil Lomachenko. Said that switch to the Solly Amateur Boxing Club. As he takes a hard right hand to the ribcage and a terrific left hook upstairs. Maxwell just trying to prevent Lomachenko from working for a moment, because that rocked him to his bootstraps, did that shot from Lomachenko, who's continuing to work well to the body.
Yeah, Maxwell is learning the hard way here. You see, he's throwing shots where he'd probably get away with it against other opponents when he falls in with the right hand, but you won't get away with it against this fella. He comes back with those counters, so he's got to stay a little bit more balanced to Sam Maxwell when he's throwing that right hand. Occasionally he just falls into his opponent and then gets caught, but as I said, he probably wouldn't get caught against lesser opposition, but here he's in against the very best. Now that wasn't a bad shot from Maxwell, good lad.
This is a challenge that Sam Maxwell will relish, that's for sure. Good straight left-right from Maxwell. I think the right hand just managed to penetrate the guard of Lomachenko. Good right hand from Lomachenko, just stepped to the side and exploded with a long corkscrew right. Left hand to the body, causing Maxwell to cover up. Right hand right in the belt line as well. Then a shot upstairs in the blink of an eye later. Maxwell's under pressure as he takes another hard right hand to the head and left hand to the body. Right hand to the body follows from Lomachenko, and all of a sudden Maxwell's been put under pressure. See him biting down on his gun shield, just weathering the storm, and almost inevitably the referee intervenes to issue a mandatory 8 count. What an onslaught from Vasil Lomachenko here in round number 4, and all of a sudden Sam Maxwell is looking far more weary and disheveled. The bell has come not a moment too soon to end round number 4, and Maxwell, as well as looking physically weary, is looking slightly dispirited, having just been put on the end of a serious onslaught from Vasil Lomachenko.
Yeah, terrific there, terrific last 30 or 40 seconds, 10-8 rounds from the judges for Lomachenko, and there was a switch, wasn't there, the way he started to work to the body heavily. There, falling short with his work there, Maxwell, and then gets caught with that left hand, but there was a change in tempo from Lomachenko towards the end of the round. Again, just a different angle of that left hand thrown by the Olympic champion, but here, switches downstairs and starts to hurt Maxwell with a couple of shots. There's Maxwell there, biting on his gum shield, feeling the pain, but he got through it. But the referee just jumps in, and I think he was right to bring about the standing count.
So a sporting touch of glove to begin the 5th and final round here in this 61-kilogram lightweight contest. Contest in which Vasil Lomachenko has won every round so far, and the 4th round was won by a margin of 10 points to 8 on every judge's scorecard, having forced Maxwell to take a standing 8 count after putting him in the end of a furious assault from both flanks from his southpaw stance.
He's just feeling the pace a little bit now, Maxwell, and that's mainly because of those body shots they're certainly taking out of him. Took some heavy shots there, but let's put it into perspective here. I mean, Sam Maxwell, you know, he's done absolutely fantastically well. He hasn't been in the podium squad long. What's this kid been like in another 4 years when we get Brazil 2016 on our doorstep? He's one for the future, Sam Maxwell, and this is not a bad performance from him at all.
That is very much what he is aiming for, because as we said, he was a club boxer in 2010 as he takes another hard right, accurate hard right hand from Lomachenko. Another shot gets through to the head as well, and it's Lomachenko continuing to be on the front foot, on the onslaught, and Maxwell, all of his experience, all of his strength being put to the test. He initiates a clinch just to gain some respite as we approach the halfway stage in this 5th and final round, and the referee has to work rather hard to separate the two. Look at the foot movement of Lomachenko. Look how he's able to change angles and just hurt Maxwell to the body with both left and right hands. Lomachenko forcing Maxwell backwards to the neutral corner on the near side of the ring. Maxwell, though, doing well to see off, weather the storm. Can he get his own jab working just to give Lomachenko something to think about? He doesn't want to be reduced to a target and force the referee to intervene with another standing 8 count. So it's essential that he fires some of his own offense, gets that working inside this final minute.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit more ragged now, Sam Maxwell, really feeling the pace. I think the body shots have taking their toll on him. But it's important now he just keeps his shape and gets to the end of this contest. Lomachenko roared on by the home crowd. Obviously he wants to get the stoppage win. But this is a test for Maxwell now, both physically and mentally, and he's starting to come through. He's starting to pick himself up again.
You see Maxwell feinting, just even if he wasn't letting his hands go, just to give Lomachenko something to think about. Now bouncing back on his toes, he appears to have weathered the worst of that attack from Vasil Lomachenko. Pinned to the corner once again, though. Lomachenko looking to get through to both body and head.
And it's very important now for Sam Maxwell to stay off the ropes, stay out of those corners, box in the spaces, centre of the ring. That'll make it a little bit more difficult for Lomachenko. If he gets you back on the ropes and your feet come square, then he can work downstairs a lot more.
And that's what he's doing just as the closing bell is about to sound. You saw Lomachenko put in a furious assault to the body. No doubt about the winner in this lightweight contest. Maxwell survives to hear the final bell, but Vasil Lomachenko has won every single round for my money on the scorecards. It was only the 5th round to be completed as he won the previous 4 and round number 4 by a score of 10 points to 8.
Yeah, well, the first minute of this last round, and Lomachenko was totally in control. And at one point you feared a little bit for Maxwell, but he picked himself up, he got through it. He's boxing the best pound-for-pound amateur boxer in the world today, and he's come through it. He's been beaten, but that hasn't been a bad performance by Sam Maxwell. And he's definitely one for the future. But this fella, it's his night, he's on home soil, he's performed really, really well, as we know he would. It was a test for Sam Maxwell, but although he's been beaten, I think he's come through the test, and he should hold his head very, very high indeed, Sam Maxwell.
So both men approach centre ring as we await the official verdict. Just underline the fact Lomachenko should be a points winner.
Судья номер 1, Judge 1, 50-44. Судья 2, Judge 2, 50-44. Судья 3, 50-44, 50-44. The winner is Васил Ломаченко, Украинские атаманы.
So Sam Maxwell magnanimous in defeat. Vasil Lomachenko securing a unanimous decision points victory by a score of 50 points to 44. Scored a 10-8 4th round, forcing Sam Maxwell to take a standing count, and it is a successful World Series boxing debut for Vasil Lomachenko.